Hello, hello. Going live with my guest,
Yeah.
Evangeline. Hi. All right, let's get some folks in here to join us. We are here to dish the tea all about having a template shop, how it impacted our business for the good, for the bad, the bumps and the lumps and bumps along the way, because trust me, they're there. It
Mhm.
happens. And we've had lots of people ask us individually to talk. So here we are, rocking up to a live to share the behind the scenes with you. Sandra, I do see you are frozen. Can you hear me okay? Let me just double check. Uh, hmm. I think I lost my guest. So that's super fun. Let's have her connect back with us in a second. And there we go. Hey, there we are. There you are. Did I lose you?
Hey. Yeah, I just got the boot, or I don't know what happened, but I was there and then I wasn't.
Okay. All right. Well,
But
all
we're
good.
back.
Okay, yes, all good. We will leave it at that and just not touch the tech and hope that it all continues to work. If you are joining us live, drop a hello in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. And I'm actually curious, if you're live here with us on YouTube, also put in the chat, do you have a template shop? Have you done this before? Are you here to hear because you're curious about starting one, or are you here because you've had one and you're thinking about letting it go? Want to hear how we're going to talk a little bit about our pivots and stuff. So the structure, also unsighted guest is my puppy. Not ashamed to shout out this puppy who insists on being in my lap, up in
Star.
my business at all times. Stinking dog, stinking puppies. So anyway, the structure of this is essentially, we'll do a quick intro if you're not familiar with me, if you're not familiar with Sandra and our template shops, and then we're going to go into a little interview style. We're going to chat, dish all the tea. So Sandra, why don't you start just by telling us what you do and a little bit about your template shop?
Sure. I'm so unprepared to introduce myself, like always. I used to be the copywriter over at Dam Copy. The template shop I had was a copy, like conversion copy template shop. And I say had, we'll go into the pivots and the things. Spoiler alert, I shut mine down, slash, we're doing something new very, very soon. I mainly these days do sales strategy, which looks like we take your offer and we sell it to the people, and we find a way to sell it to the people that works for you, works for the offer, works for your people, actually feels good, and is based on the things you're good at. So what I don't generally do is tell people you need to be on reels 3 times a day, you should run challenges. No, we look at where do you shine, what works for you, what works for your capacity, and how do we turn that into a sales system. um I moved to California. My business made that possible. Dama was like, we should talk about how you manifested the move, demand, and everything in a template shop, and your digital products made a lot of that possible financially. We can talk
Shout out
about
to the
that for sure
business that
too.
made your dreams and goals happen, and template
Yes.
shops being a big part of that. We'll come
Yes.
to that.
Absolutely. We'll come to that. But yeah, that's the gist of it.
Okay, awesome. Yay. So, and in real life, Sandra is my biz bestie. We actually met because of our template shops. We'll talk about that in a second as well. But we talk every day. We're good friends, and we've been wanting to share the tea on our template shops for kind of a while. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Dama Jew, and this is a question I've been getting randomly. Is your whole name Dama Jew? No, my name is Dama. Dama, short for Damaris. But anyway, sometimes people will be like Dama Jew, and I'm like, yes, that's my full name. Whatever, that's okay. So anyway, I help digital product creators create and sell more of their offers with lazy funnels. I'm big on the low lift, high impact kind of thing. Low energy, low effort, high impact, high quality offers. And also help people with clever marketing automation. I'm all about that automation life and strategic systems. And so I started as a Pinterest manager, got very bored with that. No shots fired to Pinterest people. I just got bored. I'm not really a social girl. And then I pivoted into funnels and built funnels for clients, built automations for clients. In fact, Sandra is a past client. And so, yes, we've both actually been each other's clients. We love to hire each other in our businesses. And so, yes, built funnels for people. And that's when this whole template journey started for me. So if you don't mind, Sandra, I'll go first into
Sure.
why I actually launched a template shop. So I was building funnels for clients. I was testing funnel tech, working in Kajabi, working in Kartra, working in ClickFunnels. And I started working specifically with Thrivecart. I liked it. I was picking it up easily. I could see the benefit for my clients. I knew that eventually I was going to buy it for myself when I was ready to start creating digital products. Um, and the whole impetus for this whole thing is that I Googled Thrivecart templates because my client had no problem hiring out for the copy, which I did, and the automation, the funnels, the sequence, all the strategy, the messaging, all of that. I did that. But when it came to designing the sales page, we hired out a web designer, but the web designer wouldn't design the Thrivecart page. They were like, oh no, I don't do that. So it was left to me, and I was like, well, are there templates? Can we buy a shortcut solution? I already have 17 emails plus a webinar to write. I don't have time to design a template. I Googled it, couldn't find any, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to design my own. So for every funnel that I built, I ended up designing Thrivecart templates, checkout templates to go with it. And because I'm a data nerd, former accountant here, always an analyst, I started noticing things that I could do to improve the conversions on those templates. And then I essentially created this template collection for my own use in my client work. And then I turned it into a digital product that I could use as an affiliate bonus. So people would buy Thrivecart with my affiliate link, they could get it. In fact, spoiler alert, you still can. Go to thrivecarttemplateshop.com/mini training or free Thrivecart templates and you'll be able to get them. And essentially, I started offering this as an affiliate bonus, and then people were like, well, how do I get them? I already have Thrivecart. And so essentially, I knew that there was an opening for Thrivecart templates. There was an opening in the market, and I sat on it for a good year. There were a couple of templates out there, and I'm not saying they were bad, but I also knew, being the marketer that I am, I was like, this is so much untapped potential. So eventually in 2021, I finally got off my butt, made my first set, my first collection publicly available, and within an hour, I got my first 3 sales, and I was like, uh-oh, this is really happening. Within 24 hours, I had made my first $1,000, and I was like, uh-oh, this is a pinch
This
me
is the
moment.
thing now.
Yeah, it's really happening. So that's how it started. That ended up being my first 5-figure launch. And that was really the thing that shifted everything. So we'll come back to that. So how, Sandra, what was it for you that led to why you launched a template shop? What was going on in your business at the time?
So for me, service wise, my sort of sales page writing and sales email writing service really took off, where that looked like I was booked out, a couple months in advance. I was writing I do a client project in a day. So I turned it around. It's not a VIP day. It's not done with you. It was all automated. You had a form. I would write on the day and deliver. And that kind of meant that I had sort of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to do marketing, do meetings, do other types of things. And then I was writing, and I had more demand than I could handle. And part of that was I should have increased the price more frequently and faster and higher. But I had more clients than I could take on, basically. And I was like, how do I make this available? And the other thing for me was I had people coming to me who were like, oh, I, love to hire you to write a sales page for this untested $27 product. And I was like, oh, honey, you're not going to make this investment back, right? Knowing what I knew about their audience size and their email list, I was like, you're not going to out earn the investment of me writing it for you. And that doesn't mean don't launch it, but I really wanted to give people an opportunity to write good conversion copy without the investment in a conversion copywriter, right? Because I was charging way less than the competition. The average sales page writer charges, between $3,000 and $4,000 or $5,000 for a sales page. So that's really why I was like, I need to figure out a way to do this. And actually, I was on vacation in Portugal to see if I wanted to live in Portugal, because I used to be a digital nomad. And I was like, I should just make templates. And I put together a Thrivecart checkout. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually used one of your checkout templates. I put it together in a coffee shop around the corner from my hotel. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this thing now. And I think I made like $2,200. I pre-sold a collection of free templates. I think I wrote 2 up front, and then 2 I still had to make. And that really was the start of it, right? And I earned back my vacation while I was on it, which is just like a hobby now. That's something I love to do. But it was really around like, how can I serve at scale for um like these people that, might need this but aren't necessarily ready for it.
Yes, that makes sense. So you were busy, booked out service provider, but also you had the integrity to say, okay, for somebody with a smaller audience just getting started and wanting to sell a low ticket thing, I'm not even sure, but you're going to see the ROI that you necessarily want. Let's let you get off to a good start with a copy template
Yes.
where you can write it yourself. You can kind of get your feet wet and build those muscles. So we both kind of came to this idea of a template shop very different ways. So for me, it was a need that I saw I was experiencing in my own business, had money, would buy, but there was nothing to buy. And then I just started building them. And then the demand came from that. It also served me as an affiliate bonus, which I still use and love. And from Sandra, it's just like, well, she can only take so many clients. And also, she had this proven framework and that's sort of the similarity between the two of us. We were using these templates in our business well before they ever saw the light of day. And this is something that when I get asked questions about how do I get started, well, if you're a service provider, what are you doing in your own business that is repeatable, is useful, and every time you do a client project, you refine and you improve, and you use that, you sort of stand on the shoulders of last project's success. So we both built systems into our businesses to make our project work, our client work better and more systematic, repeatable, and higher quality. Well, wouldn't anybody else want that? Yes, it turns out they absolutely would. So we both had that in common. And in fact, the template shop is what brought Sandra and I together. I saw that she was launching copy templates and I didn't know her, but I wanted them. But I was so busy and in the weeds with my own brand and template shop launch that I just, it sort of went by the wayside. By the time I went to buy them, the like pre-sale had ended and the cart was closed. So I just sent her a DM and was like, hey, I saw you're doing templates. They look pretty cool. I'm doing templates too. And she's like, yeah, I've seen them. They look pretty cool. And I was like, well, do we want to, we ended up doing a trade. So I gave her my templates. So we have each other's templates ever since then have become really good friends and been sort of each other's number one fans and shouting each other out and stuff. So the origin story of Dama and Sandra, it all comes back to
Yeah.
to
To template
like
shops.
yeah, exactly. There's a really interesting comment in the chat that I want to share, but I don't know how to do that. I'm using fancy eCam live for the first time. Let me try this. Can I do it? Yes, awesome. Thank you. So Jackie said pattern spotters of the world finding freedom. Yes, so that's a big part of it. If you're filling a yin to create a digital product or template shop or something like that, I don't know how to get it to go away though. Sorry, squirrel. I don't know how to get it to go away, and I already lost the dang screen.
Okay,
This
you
is
look
what
for it.
happens
I
when
can
we're
fill in how, for service providers, if you have any processes, guaranteed you have templates you could be selling right now in your business. And you might have to zhuzh them up, right? You're not going to copy paste them and send them out the way they are, but you have anyone that has a process for anything, but service providers that do things on repeat for clients, especially, you have things already that you can turn into a template. And I love actually that Jessica said in the comments, she has templates from both of us and remembers us launching. She asked a really good question too that I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah. So I already let Jessica know
Yeah.
we'll be definitely coming back to Jessica's question because she's got a good one in the chat.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. I just wanted to remark, like, yeah, it's kind of funny that because of our template shops, we evolved separately and then ended up such a natural synergy between funnel templates and copy templates. But the purpose of this live stream is not just about copy templates. It could be crochet patterns. It could be Notion bases for journaling or whatever. It could be any of those things. So I do want to talk a little bit about how we both hinted at this as we emailed about it, how Template Shop changed our lives. Do you want to go first, Sandra, or do you want me to go?
I can go, but it's this thing where a thing where I think for the first time in my life, I hit on that perfect sweet spot of people are willing to pay for it. I like doing it. I'm good at it. There's demand, right? It was that Venn diagram of things you want to do and things people want to pay for, which I always hammer on. Like, you need to find that overlap. Um, and then the template shop really was my sort of foray or my new introduction into selling digital products. And I feel like most people, everyone's always like, you should sell courses, you'll make all this passive money. And anyone that's ever created a course knows how much bleeping work it is, right?
Yes.
Creating a course is not like easy or fast or anything. Whereas creating a template is like, it's easy, it's quick, they're much lower lift to sell, they don't need a big launch, the price point's different. Where it just kind of changed everything. So my template shop helped me, grow my income. Let's be real about that. It helped me take myself out of delivery in a way where I could do less client work and I could still make more money. It helped me grow my audience. Like, I gave templates away in bundles. Like, if you were around back when the lazy funnel bundle happened, I got tons of leads from including copy templates, right? And Dama convinced me to give away one that I don't ever give away to. Like, that's kind of how it works with biz besties.
I get to make cheeky demands, and she's more likely to say yes if I'm her biz bestie.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
But it was really this thing, like, it helped me grow my income, it helped me grow my audience, and that made everything else possible, including getting a business visa to move to the United States and spend $100,000 doing that,
yeah.
Yeah, it
So
made everything
really,
possible.
because before your template shop, you were a service provider working on one sales page, one email sequence at a time, and then all of a sudden, sort of almost overnight, you had this really lucrative popping off, lots of options because of your template shop, which then led you to, yes, eventually create courses and eventually create group programs and do one-on-one coaching, move abroad, do the nomad thing.
Yeah.
She's lived in several countries since I've known her.
True.
And for me, it was really the catalyst that helped me leave being a done for you service provider behind, because while I liked it, I was behind the scenes of lots of client launches, products, funnels, and I always had always the bridesmaid, never the bride feeling, where it's like, well, I have ideas for offers. I know I can execute the heck out of putting out an offer, and I never got a chance to do it because I was always buried up to my chin in client work. And so this was the catalyst that I launched my template shop on December 31st, 2021. And somebody in the chat, Jay, asked a question about building things from scratch or not. So we'll come back to that. But one of the things that I was really struggling with was, do I build this huge template shop thing, or do I just put a product out there and see? Answer now that I did not build a separate website for my template shop straight away. I didn't go and set up with Shopify or with WooCommerce. I literally used the resources that I had. I'm sorry, puppy interruption again. I used the resources that I had, which was a Thrivecart checkout, and I just used the resources that I had and started selling from there. And then later let the success of that become, okay, now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to have a shop, a website, of this, of that. And I sort of went into it with a lot of intentionality. I created the template shop. I created the brand, but I didn't actually create the website. And then, as Sandra mentioned, I hosted a bundle, which had, nearly 700 people buy at $97. So it was my first $70-something thousand launch, but I made that bundle sponsored by my template shop. So I was basically giving myself free promotion rights to shout out my template shop, which hadn't even been born yet. I literally whipped it up right after the bundle. And so the big thing for me, the big impact for me was I suddenly was growing an audience. I was suddenly growing an email list. I was suddenly getting a reputation for being an expert in a specific subject. Before, I was Dama builds funnels, Dama automation, and then it was like Dama's a Thrivecart expert. And that legacy has persisted to this day. It was really like, okay, I have a template shop. Thrivecart, people are connecting me to Thrivecart. Well, within 2 months, I launched my first Thrivecart course, which is called Cart Start. A couple months later, I launched my next one, which is called Freebie to Flash Sale. And then it basically created an ecosystem that wasn't limited to templates. It wasn't just templates. It let me sort of build the audience that opened the way for lots of other things, which ended up being thousands of students and helping lots of people. So yeah, huge impact. For me, it was really the catalyst between working with one client, several clients at a time, and being always up to my elbows in that, and using all my creativity for them, to letting my clients go. So I launched my template shop December 31st, 2021, wrapped my launch January 15th, and by February 10th or so had let go of my clients, or let them know that February would be my last month ever, because I could see the potential. And once I got into the template thing, I had tons of ideas for templates and tons of ideas for complimentary offers and tons of ideas to market it. It was like the first time we unleashed my brain on just for me and not my clients. So huge shift. And ever since then, it's never gone back. So yes, huge opportunities for list growth. As Sandra mentioned, we both strategically used our templates to contribute to bundles and summits and giveaways so that we could grow our audience. We have that email list that has stayed with us. Some folks like Jackie, or was it Jessica? I think it was Jackie, has both of our templates and remember those launches from 4 years ago. So the benefits of it definitely lingering even and lasting even till today. This is a funny, kind of a tricky question for you, Sandra. What do you wish you'd done differently?
Oh man, so many things and nothing at the same time. It's this thing where I think there's looking back, it could have been bigger, it could have been better, I could have made more money if I did this, and at the same time, like, I truly believe that we do the best we can with what we have in terms of capacity, knowledge, skills, availability, resources at the time. So I want to look back on it with grace, but I'm like, oh, if I actually ever implement any kind of funnel or any kind of coupon code, right? I'm like, and I had the shop. It did well. I turned mine, lived on a blog, and it's like, this might all get fancy sales pages with lots of stuff. Never got around to it. There was a time where 80% of the templates you could buy didn't even have an order bump. And I'm like, I lost out so much money on that, right? So there are so many ways where I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, I could have optimized more. And that's never been my favorite thing. Like, there's, I love creating things. I love creating useful things. And I think that a template shop was really satisfying for me because it was really useful. I spoke to one of the original template shop buyers yesterday, and she's like, and I was like, oh, I think with AI, no one uses them anymore. And she goes like, what are you talking about? I pulled up your template for this thing like 3 days ago. Right. So there's, I don't know, what would I have done differently? I think order bumps, upsells, put more energy not into just creating the product, but into actually marketing and promoting the product.
Okay, very fair. Nothing and everything is a totally fair and valid answer. And not to be cheeky, but I feel the exact same way. The biggest mistake that I will say I made, because I was designing Thrivecart sales page and full funnel templates, I put an inordinate amount of pressure on myself to make sure my sales page for my templates looked really, really good. And I went out and bought fancy PSD, like Photoshop 3D mock-ups. And I love those 3D scroll mock-ups, they still live on my page. I sincerely regret going as hard as I did on the mock-ups, because on every single sales page for every single template, I had 7 Photoshop 3D mock-ups. Like, the choices were made, and I ended up regretting it, because then I had to have a Photoshop subscription, which I don't want and need for anything else. Or I could have to pay somebody to do the mock-ups for me every single time I created. I overdid it. Sandra was really elegant in her situation. She's just like, here's a Canva mock-up. Like, here's what it looks like. Bye. And that was smart. I wish I had simplified. Yeah, but I will say that, do I super regret it? No, because I'm still really proud of my sales pages. I'm still really proud of the offers that I put out. And I have to have everything be just perfect hold me back from launching. At the time that I launched on December 31st, 2021, I was on a different website, had nothing to do with Thrivecart, had barely no mention. It still said I was a Pinterest manager. Hadn't been a Pinterest manager for like a while, but it still said I was a Pinterest manager, and I didn't care. I created a waitlist strategy, and I just said, whatever. I'm gonna just do it anyway. YOLO, whatever. Something is better than nothing. People cannot buy if there's no checkout, and I'm just gonna rock up with a checkout. So I did do the imperfect action. I didn't wait till I had a beautiful template site. I didn't wait till I had a beautiful Shopify. I just started putting them out there and seeing the reactions from people, asking for people for feedback, and them saying they loved them. People that I had followed in the online space were buying my templates. I was like, is this real freaking life? This seems insane. I'm just the behind the scenes girl. People are buying from me. This is wild. Such a game changer for me to actually say, okay, I guess I can do this. Oh, hello, Zoe. So yeah, for me, the biggest mistake is once I actually got my website up, I made very elaborate sales pages. I overdid it with the mock-ups, but such is life. It's okay. No regrets. No regrets. I'm still glad I did it the way I did. Because the worst thing, yeah, I'll just be blunt and say the worst thing would have been not launching.
Yeah.
What's the worst case
And I think
scenario?
that
Not launching.
yeah, because the thing I think in both our stories, it's about momentum, right? It's about how going for the first time makes every other thing possible. Whereas if you want it to be perfect, and if you want to spend a ton of money up front in the perfect Shopify store for an offer that, first of all, isn't proven, like it hasn't paid you a dime yet, it's such a thing where like positive responses, I find positive responses and money in the bank very motivating to make things
Yes.
better.
Yes.
That's, and that's running a business really. So I love that we never got caught up in the sort of making it perfect, doing it immediately how it was going to be at the end, right? Like making the last version first, basically.
Yeah, 100%. If I had overthought it and waited till it got polished and perfect, I would have, I would have missed thousands of dollars in sales. I didn't get my Thrivecart templateshop.com. I didn't get that website up until like 6 months later. 6 months of selling templates just like out of the back of my trunk. Like I popped the trunk on Venice Avenue and I was like, I've got purses, like
She opened the
like, oh yeah,
goes,
you have like a trench coat and you're just like, let me just show you what's inside of here. I've got goods for sale. I'm so glad that I did it that way versus waiting for everything to be perfect, because number one, everything being perfect is an absolute fallacy. It never will. There are probably broken things or funky things that I could optimize on my Summit website, but I'm like, they're still selling, so I just kind of rock on and move forward. But yes, I'm really glad that we both moved forward with imperfect action, because you can wait 2 years. And if I had waited 2 years, someone else might have entered the market. And in fact, people did. This is one fun thing that I don't talk about publicly very often, but I've definitely had some copycats. I've actually had someone use my own brand name in an email to me. And I'm just like, oh, you're linking to yours, not mine. I mean, okay, that's my brand. But anyway, yes, that does happen. Sandra and I have both experienced that. We took measures and we got them back down. And the first mover, the person who became known for this, still gets credit, still gets, we still had that first mover. So if you are sitting on an idea, I would say nothing ventured, nothing gained. Does not need to be perfect. You don't need Shopify. You don't need WooCommerce. You just need a tidy way to take payment. We both already had a lifetime license with Thrivecart. So we just said, you know what, let's rock out. Let's just get this out there and move forward. So as my friend Zoe says, it's so hard to find the balance between perfect and good enough. If you can take payment and deliver a thing, that's good enough. And if people are buying and it's working for you, then you can optimize. You can keep going with it. And as Sandra mentioned, this is another secret I want to share on here, is that we both struggle with doing things in arrears. We'd rather be accountable to someone. So for example, we both pre-sold our templates. When I came to market, I think I had 4 Thrivecart templates ready to go. There were 4 checkout templates, and my upsell, I did have upsells from the jump because funnels girl. So I had an upsell, and my upsell was a bundle of 4 full sales pages. And in that upsell, when you bought it, there was only one ready. The other ones I'm like, coming soon when I get to it. But the fact that people were buying it, my first 4 sales, 2 of them bought the upsell. I never told anyone that I was selling full funnel sales page templates for Thrivecart. Never told a soul. I just quietly put them on the upsell and was like, if nobody buys, that's okay. Like, it's fine. But people were buying and I was like, well, okay, this game on. This is working.
Let's go.
And the fact that people had bought them and had that faith in me, that I was like, yes, I'm going to go and create. So pre-selling can be a really powerful tool. Just be careful with pre-selling too many things at once. We've both gotten in the weeds where we pre-sold too many things, but hey, if you want to sell a set of 3 templates and 2 are ready now and the third one will be ready on May 31st, yeah, fine. People don't care. They're okay with it. They will follow up with you if you miss your deadline. So just have integrity about your deadline. But there was something about seeing sales coming in before the thing was actually built that was incredibly motivating to just be like, yes, okay, I'm going to keep going. And versus I put all this work into making 17 templates and no one bought a single one, like, oh, it would have been nice if I'd pre-sold and seen what was interesting for people and what wasn't. So, okay, so we've just gone through why we launched a template shop, what finally pushed us to do it, how templates created more revenue for us. Do you mind if I ask, Sandra, do you have like a ballpark how much you've made from your templates? Over 50,000?
Over 100,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
same.
double check that math. I don't have like the exact number for it. And that's sort of straight up template sales. That's without like using them for bonuses or affiliate things, that type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Same. My template shop has brought in over 100,000, but also created the way for us to make multiple hundreds of thousands from that they sort of created the foundation for an entirely new business model, which has sustained us for these past 4 years. So pretty incredible. Yeah. Okay. I didn't actually ask you, Sandra, if I could like put us on blast and ask you revenue numbers, but I was like, well, let me just spit it out. Okay. So we went over what we wish we'd done differently. We were both really glad we took imperfect action. Waiting for it to be perfect is the biggest mistake of them all. Waiting and no one buys your templates, whatever, who cares? No one cares. Yeah. Waiting until you have perfect everything and then launching, that's the bigger mistake. That's a real fail case. So if you're sitting on an idea, just go with it. You never know how it can work. And even if it doesn't work forever, which is how we're leading into our next question. And Sandra kind of alluded to this. Sandra, what we did when the market shifted, I think arguably is one of the reasons why a lot of people are here. We have some really good questions in the chat, so we will get to those in a moment. But I want to get to this very interesting nugget because in the back of people's minds, they might say, well, what if I launch and then AI can do it? Or what if I launch and then someone else better or bigger audience or this, that, and the other comes out? Because we have both been cold clocked by a competitor for our template shop. So what was the market shift, Sandra? And what did you do about it?
Around, at some point I was running both Dem Copy and SandraVanderlei.com, right? I was managing multiple group programs. I still had one-on-one clients. I had self-study courses, including how we do the traveling. I was trying to get a visa. So the internal shift was really like I had taken on way more than one person can carry. So internally, it was just a thing that lived there. And if someone stumbled on it and bought a template, that would be great. And if I could make it 40% off for Black Friday, that was great. But I wasn't actively engaged with it anymore. And I do feel like offers need some of our energy and our attention to keep it alive, right? Even if it's evergreen, like you need to market, right? You need to promote. So for me internally, there was really a moment of the shift internally was I need less of everything except for money, right? But I was like really in a place where I need to simplify this. I've built all these sprawling things. I love them all, but I can't have them all at once. And then externally what happened was like AI started coming on the scene. There were tools. I thought most of them, especially at the beginning, it's getting better now. At the start, I was like, this is never going to compete with me because this is trash. And this was, think back to when ChatGPT just, the very, very baby steps a year and a half ago. But I could also see that if this was going to take over, that it didn't matter if the quality was good for AI. What mattered was whether my clients would think AI was a better solution than my copy templates. Um, so for me, like shutting down sort of damn copy as the brand, which hasn't completely happened because I'm struggling to let go of it emotionally, but it is going to go. Um, where I was like, I want to let go of this. I know there's people that want them. I know there's people that need them. Anytime I promote it, they sell. So why don't I do a big blowout of just closing it down? And I ended up closing it down as I was leaving the United States, going back to the Netherlands to wait for my visa interview. And I was literally sort of shutting it down over the couple of days where I was packing up. I was sort of kind of, getting ready to step into a whole different phase of life, right? It was a very transitional period. And I was like, AI is coming for me. I can change this, right? I can build something. Like, I know I have the ability to build some kind of AI copywriting something. I just didn't have the capacity. And for me, it was acknowledging that I had ability, but not capacity that led me to, I need to shut this down. I need a clean break. And actually, that closing down sale was bonkers. Like, I
Amazing.
shut down. I was on the plane. So while on the way to the airport, that still did so well. I upgraded my seat to a business class seat on the airport. I bought the internet and was like 11,000 feet in the air, chilling in business class with my MacBook Pro. And I was like, shut this one down, shut this one down. And I just took them all offline. But it was very much about like, hey, I think the future is going to look very different for copywriting. And although that's my business, it's not my business to get into that with the template shop.
Yes. So
So
how
that was
did
the decision.
you
Put any questions in the chat that you have.
Yeah, if you have questions for Sandra about retiring a template shop, you're welcome to ask them. We've got 4 questions queued up, but we probably have time for a few more. So what essentially is the pivot for you? So you closed the template shop, but is that the end of them? Do they live in a digital graveyard?
No. So they people still have access to them. Obviously, anyone that's bought it, it's still their Google Docs. It lives on Thrivecart Learn. It's still online and accessible for anyone that's ever paid for them.
Oh, did she freeze?
Launching not quite a template shop, but somewhat of a template shop, where I'm building a little bit of a more all-in-one solution that has copy, that has graphics, it has strategy, then just here's the things you need, and tools to kind of help you write it. So it's almost like you fill in the blanks. Here's all the information in the template and the structure that I teach and use. So yeah, they are coming back, but again, having almost a year of, or like maybe like 10 months of not having to do anything with it, gave me that room and that freedom to change it. Yeah.
Awesome. So they went away. They're no longer available on your website for sale, and yet they're not gone forever. That genius that you put into them is still ramping up to be a very cool offer that honestly sounds more done for you. Like it sounds more like it's serving
It's a lot
people
more
even in a
complete.
fuller capacity.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
love
sure.
it. Jackie's just saying in the chat, tech has been weird all week. We're having a little bit of glitchiness where it was like freezing for you, but anyway, all good. I think it's coming through okay now. So I'll say for me, what happened with
Good.
the market shifted. I had this idea of building Thrivecart Template Shop as a brand that I wanted to build separately that I could potentially sell. So I entered a Thrivecart affiliate contest, and the prize was to go to Miami and meet the CEO, meet the affiliate program manager, meet the marketing manager, meet all the top brass at Thrivecart. And I was like, yes, I want to be in that room. I want to be a Mexican woman, daughter of immigrants, first gen women business owner. Like, I don't look at all like what a top affiliate marketer is, which is usually like white men, right? White 28-year-old men or whatever. Like, I'm none of those things. So I definitely wanted to be in that room. And one of the things that I used that opportunity for was to talk to the Thrivecart CEO and just say, hey, I could be open to selling this brand. You guys have no templates or trash templates. I said in a much politer way. Sorry, mine are really, really good. Mine are really, really good. And yours are like,
Yeah.
And so I just said, I could see a lot of progress. I could see a lot of growth for you if you integrated templates. Would you be interested in buying? And I made my pitch. I kind of let them know that I would be interested in selling my brand. And they kind of kicked my tires a little bit. And then I had the wind taken out of me because about 2 months later, no, it was more like 5 months later, several months later, I never heard back. I followed up, never heard back. I was like, whatever. I'm going to keep running this brand because number one, I like it. And number two, it's making me money. So I'm not going to just give away a free asset. Like I'm loving this. So nope. Okay. Not your thing, not my thing. Fine. But what I really had to deal with was 5 months later, they released their own templates. And I did have a moment like, Thrivecart is now including templates for free with their platform. Maybe that's going to cannibalize all my sales. Now, I will say I wasn't the most, it might have been a spirit of pettiness, but I was like, let me log in, let me look at these templates, let me play with them. Are they actually good? And I'm sorry to say they're not spectacular. They were full of glitches. They were lorem ipsum, meaning there was just like placeholder copy. There was no guidance, no conversion optimization. You couldn't access any of the elements. So all the really high-end, high-touch things that I put in with my template. Because if you buy a Thrivecart template from me, it's not just like, here's a course sales page template with a bunch of Latin or gobbledygook in it. You get a conversion optimized full funnel template that comes with the downsell, comes with the upsell. They're coordinating. There's strategy woven into every single template, a copy template, like so you can actually write your copy. I give you all the promo assets, all the materials, all the recolorable elements. So there's a lot of quality that goes into my templates that just weren't there with the free ones. So once I had a look at them, I was like, yeah, I'm not worried about it. Not super worried about it. And I did not, my sales did not disappear overnight. I just leaned into really refining the messaging on my templates. Sure, you could use those, but did you know if you use Thrivecart's built-in templates, you can't have a coupon? Because it has a glitch that will not allow it to like show a coupon box. I'm sorry, no, a coupon is a converting element for me. Absolutely not. If you don't like those colors, well, too bad. You're stuck with them or you need to restart from scratch. So I just kind of like, okay, I could tuck tail. I offered to sell them my brand. They didn't want it. They came out with a competing element. Fine.
It sucked.
Well, I was annoyed, considering like, oh, we're inviting you to Miami to be like, you're one of our top partners, except we're going to try and take some of your sales. Whatever. Neither here nor there. Any business can do what they want. But it didn't matter. My brand had built a reputation for quality, and I wasn't selling like crappy, inferior quality templates. I was selling top tier templates that were designed by a funnel strategist that give you such an edge over a generic, glitchy, lorem ipsum solution. So did my sales, I did lose a little bit of sales. So my sales shrank by about 11% year over year. C'est la vie. Whatever. Okay, that's fine. That by that point, the templates had served so much for me in building my audience, building my expertise. At that point, I was putting out new templates, just 4 to 6 a year. And in what was really making money was I was teaching people how to make the most of their Thrivecart. It wasn't just here's tech tutorials, it's how to strategically leverage this tech. So creating the template shop cracked open this huge market that was even more lucrative than the templates. And yet, every Black Friday, I do a shop-wide sale, and every Black Friday, people grab templates. I still use them as prizes in my affiliate contest, and people buy them. I was just telling Sandra yesterday as we were planning for today, I sent an email about like potential shift in the template shop, and like 5 people ran out and bought full price templates. And one person responded like, please, please, please tell me you're not closing the template shop. I love your templates. No, I'm not. I'm not closing the template shop. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not closing the template shop because I like it. I still have fun designing them. People are still using them. I love seeing them in the wild. I just got something where I was like, oh, I kind of recognize the bones of this. This woman completely redid this template, but I know who she brought it from. Like, I know exactly where this template came from. That's my work, They're still out here making money. So I'm really relieved to say, yes, Thrivecart themselves kind of threw me for obviously something I couldn't have foreseen or prepared for. And yet, yes, the brand suffered 11% loss in sales, but I had a big pickup in sales in other places. I was reading a tweet today. It was a post on Threads, and it was like a guy talking about how he's been on like a health journey for the first 3 months of this year was just rocking. And then in April, tore his Achilles, and then all of his health gains just disappeared because now he had to have surgery. Now he's got a foot, elevated and swollen, blah, 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 blah. Um, and he said, but I'm choosing to look at this, and I wish I had grabbed like a good screenshot of it. I'm choosing to look at this as not a failure, but as an opportunity to start over with all the lessons that I learned along the way. So when Sandra launches her new offer that is built on the bones of her templates, she's coming with thousands of sales and people having access to her templates, what they like, what they respond to, what they need, the extra bells and whistles they don't need. And at this point, I have probably like 6,000 people who have at one form or the other one of my templates. And yeah, I have that muscle memory of like, okay, I did the thing, I did it funky, I did it rocky, I had some copycats, I had the brand itself throw me a glitch, or throw me, kind of throw a wrench in my plans, and yet I still have that foundation. So starting with August of last year, Sandra and I were at a mastermind, and I was like, I'm really thinking about putting out Airtable offers. I've been using Airtable in my business for this long, but I have a friend who sells Airtable offers, and literally every person in the room was like, dude, put out your offers. Like, stop, And so everything that I learned, what's that?
I think we were all like, just do it. We want them.
Yes, just do it so we can buy it. So everything that I learned along the way of creating Thrivecart Template Shop, I'm now leveraging in the Airtable ones. And I'm not coming into it as a newbie who's never launched a template shop before. I'm coming into it with so many things that I learned along the way, from doing it messy and falling on my face and getting the ground taken out from under me by the brand that I had so tirelessly for so many years shouted out. And yet the brand survives. The template is still making sales. I still use them in my own business. When I'm coming out with a new copy, a new offer, I'm like, which of these am I going to use? I think I'm going to use the virtual event one, or whatever. So there's so many good things about having the template shop. And then I have this muscle memory that carries forward that Sandra and I both, despite pivots, despite setbacks, despite things we couldn't have foreseen coming, are taking into our next ventures. And so really repeating the, banging on the drum of like, if you're thinking about doing it, you can learn so much along the way. So I'm just laughing at the chat because everybody is thinking, they're just commenting on how ridiculous that I'm not a 28-year-old tech bro, funnel bro marketer. And so anyway, we did have some questions, and I wanted to share why, I wanted to share a fun resource. So we'll start with Jessica's question. I'd love to hear, and let me bring it on screen. I'd love to hear about making a decision between launching a template shop and launching a membership, and how that plays out with MRR and etc. So Sandra is raring up to go because between the two of us, she's the one who's launched a membership. I just help people with them. True. I don't have one. So go ahead, Sandra. What do you say?
And I got questions about memberships all the time. So my thing about it is two things. You can have both. Membership, the problem is churn, right? A big thing for a new membership is that around 20% of your subscribers leave every month. And sort of a good number of churn is 10%, which means you lose 10% of your members every single month. So financially, it can be a lot more lucrative to sell individual things for $47 or for $67, or, we have templates that are going up to $200 basically. Than to have someone, pay you $27, get access to everything, and then leave the next month. So that is a very big thing. Again, with a membership, you must always be marketing and getting new people in the door. I recommend it for if you're a prolific creator that loves like building community, that wants to do some sort of extra deliverable, a membership can work. What I much prefer, and again, we'll talk about, how we can help you with a template shop. And I just decided on a bonus that I'll add for all of you, just based on these questions. What I actually did was I sold an all access pass to my template shop, which meant that for $1,111, I was into angel numbers at the time, you could buy every template that was in the shop and that was coming in the next year, and you could pay monthly, which meant that I literally came into the year after with somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 in MRR, like pre-booked and pre-bookmarked. And let me tell you, if you get sick or if something unexpected happened, those recurring payments were really instead of turning it into a membership, so you can buy the whole collection and you can pay over time. But that is very different than you can come into my house, get all of my templates, and stop paying the next week. So that is my preferred choice, is a template shop with an option, and there's a steep discount, and the bonus will teach you how to do this, and sort of how to think this through. But I was like, I would rather give you a very steep discount on getting everything and make over $1,000 per person that buys it than launch a $47 membership and either have to work with, well, you get this thing this month, but if you join next month, you don't get it, or you get everything and you pay me once, you download everything, and then you leave within a month. So that was sort of my thing around it, is that I feel like a membership is, when it comes to templates, you're selling yourself short.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And one of the reasons I have had lots of people ask me, why don't you create a membership? If you create a membership of your templates, I would sign up. And the reason is, and this is me being very, very blunt, the reason is if I created a membership with all my templates and somebody came in, downloaded every single template, and then canceled, how would I feel? Pissed. Like, in
Yeah,
a word,
be
I would
so,
feel pissed. If you can do
yeah,
that, if
yeah,
somebody came in, grabbed everything, and then left, and you feel good about it, you feel in abundance about it, hey, maybe that's an option for you. Me, I would be mad. I would be like, I would be frustrated. And then that's why membership owners end up bringing in, this is this month's content drop. You can only access this month's unless you buy the annual plan. And I just know me, I would be feeling real petty about it. If I had a monthly membership and somebody came in, downloaded everything, just literally went to the shelf, scraped it all off into their digital bag, and then canceled, I would feel frustrated. I would feel resentful. I would feel bitter. And I don't want to feel that way towards my audience. So much about pricing is feeling like, that you really delivered a good experience and a good product to people. And I know that if I had somebody last year, leading up to Black Friday, just say, I wish you'd do a $17 a month membership with all your offers. And I was like, well, that would be nice for you, like, and I was like, bless you. You got to shoot your shot, but like $17 a month, I have like 40 different offers and 30 different templates. And so, because I put in the actual work to all of these offers, it would not feel good for me, and I would immediately close it down. I can tell you about how long that membership would last, about 1 month before I was like, nope, burn it, not doing this. So I just don't think I could do it. I just don't think I am generous and abundant enough in my heart where I would feel good about somebody coming in, for $17 or $29, scraping the shelves and then walking out, and I never see them. But they're in perpetuity using the templates that they essentially paid a fraction for. Just couldn't do it. Couldn't be me. I have seen people who have a membership where every month they put out they sell the template drop, and it's like, well, the option is you can buy the template drop for $29, or you can join the membership, and then you get access to this, that, and the other. I could see selling them, like Sandra said, doing both, selling them, but then everything goes in the membership. And I think that works nicely for lower ticket templates. But really, when I set out to create Thrivecart template shop, I was very laser focused on, I know me, I'm an over deliverer. I'm obsessed with delivering really high quality, thoughtful, nuanced offers. And I just knew that it was never going to be a $17 template. This would never be $17. Each of the templates that I sell, I put 8 to 20 hours into each. There's no way I'll ever sell it for $17 because I would feel petty and resentful. So anyway, I really set out to create a premium product, and I feel good about that. They go on sale twice a year. Shout out for my Black Friday sale and for my anniversary sale, which is coming up. So if you have your eye on them, there's some fun templates coming up. But yeah, could never be me with a membership for my template. It's a hard never. And memberships are a lot of work. No hate on memberships. I think they can be a really compelling model. I just don't know if it's something that I could ever do. Pretty sure it's a no. Sounds like it's a no for Sandra too. And she's got a good alternative. So great question, Jessica. Thank you for asking.
It's with a membership, if you do a monthly drop, now you're on the hook every month.
Right.
Which is not how I want to live my life.
Right. It could not be me. Yeah. I like pre-selling, seeing how much, an offer has generated, the interest involved, and then delivering. It's very different from, I have to go and create a thing. For folks, just Sandra and I, it's just not a good fit for either of us. Might be a good fit for you. Love the idea of the MRR. I don't have that in my business. Sandra has an alternative for that. But yeah, not my thing, but definitely a possibility. Okay, I have another question that I want to answer, and this is coming from Jackie. So I'm going to bring her comment up. What operations are you using? So, what tech are you using in conjunction with Thrivecart? If you're just doing a bare bones launch, anything else with Thrivecart, or is it Thrivecart all in one? So, Sandra and I actually both, even though we didn't know each other and we launched separately, did the exact same thing. We said, what do I have in my hot little hands already? I have a Thrivecart license that I paid for once. I own it. I don't have to pay any extra. I don't have to go and learn WooCommerce and buy plugins. I don't have to go and sign up for Shopify and figure out how to do a Shopify store. I have Thrivecart. It's a way to take payment, and it's also a way to fulfill using Thrivecart Learn, the built-in course platform. So some people, when they sell templates, will take payment and then send you an email with, here's the link to the Google Doc or to the spreadsheet or to the template. And I think that's a valid move. That's super bare bones, but we both chose to go the gated method, meaning when you purchase this, you get this added to your login and your dashboard, meaning people are not forwarding the email. It gives you a little bit more control. If Sandra and I ever updated a product, which I do all the time, I update my products behind the scenes all the time. The best version lives right there in the course platform. I don't have somebody creating, hey, I need help, this is broken. It's like, yeah, I fixed that 7 months ago. Why are you still using the old version? It's like, because I sent it to them in an email. So we both took payment in Thrivecart and fulfilled in Thrivecart Learn. I had free payment processor and free course platform, so we use that. So really the tech stack is sell from Thrivecart or from your website, one or the other, but take payment on Thrivecart, fulfill on Thrivecart as a course in Learn. And then, you just, if people, then we, as soon as they bought, we added them to our email list, and now they're in our ecosystem and people went on and bought more things. Yeah. Anything to add to that, Sandra?
No, fully agree. And I always say, use what you have. If you have a web shop set up and that works, do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and one thing that we both do now, or when Sandra had Damn Copy, and that I do now, is I wanted a website for my Thrivecart template shop, but I didn't want to learn Shopify or do new things. I just kind of wanted the fastest, easiest, most polished looking solution. So I went to bluechic.com and bought a template, and their templates come with a shop landing page. And I just literally just bought a template and used that landing page, but instead of using the built-in WooCommerce, I just used the landing page and linked to my products directly in Thrivecart. I just took that beautiful template and went straight from there and rocked with it. And so Sandra had a landing page on her Squarespace website, here's all the templates by category, and then when you click on it, it takes you to Thrivecart. So we really kept it as agile as possible. And 4 years in, I'm still selling my templates this exact way. And the benefit of doing that is we get to have order bumps and upsells. As Sandra mentioned, that was one of her biggest regrets, was not having an upsell or an order bump. As a funnels girly, I had those from the beginning. But yeah, anyway, such a nice way to make more from every sale while also coming from non-sleazy place of service. So great question, Jackie. If you have follow-up questions, you're welcome to ask them. This is a question from Jay. I'm wondering, do you need to build it from scratch in order to sell it? What if you have a template, either purchased or you got free as the base that you highly edited? Could you then sell it? I would say be very careful with this. Sandra and I both built our assets from scratch. I did not take a template that I got from someone else and then build from it. Every single template that is in Thrivecart Template Shop started from the ugly white page, green button.
Nothing.
Yes, plain Jane. Nothing, right? And it started from scratch. And the reason is you can get yourself in a lot of hot water if you take something that you got and highly customized it and then sold it. Even things from Canva, I see people getting Canva templates that somebody else designed or that was in Canva for free, changing it and then selling it. That's against Canva's terms of service. In my terms of service or my terms of purchase, you cannot buy my Thrivecart template, edit it, and then sell what you've done, because you're building on the back of my work. So I would say tread very, very lightly. If you bought an MRR or PLR, if you bought a PLR,
I don't know, the resell rights.
If you bought a template that came with master resell rights. Specifically, the owner of the product said, here's a thing, you can edit it and then sell it yourself. Unless they said so, assume that just because you got a template and you heavily edit it, you cannot sell it. So yes, both of ours were built from scratch, and you want to be able to build from scratch because then you can say, this is built based on my experience as a funnel designer, as a crochet instructor, as a this, as a that, as a doula coach, whatever, as a teacher designing for special needs kids, whatever it is built from your experience, that's what adds a lot of value. And then you'll never have any legal problems with selling someone else's stuff. So yeah, tread lightly with that one, Jay. Okay, another question. Let's see. This is from Jessica. Please tell me you all are launching something where we can work with you on launching a template shop at the end of this. What? How did you know? Right? Tell me you're friends with marketers without telling me you're friends with marketers. So I have never created a course or done a live workshop on how to create a template shop. I didn't buy a course. I didn't take a training. I just said, let me see, like we just said, what tech do I have? And what do I know about creating and selling digital products? And so we both kind of raw dogged it, Sandra and I. We just said, you know what? We know how to put offers out there. We're just going to raw dog it. We're going to go with what we know. We made mistakes along the way. And in hindsight, it would have been great to have somebody telling us, oh, I wouldn't recommend this. Here are the best practices for this. And we have shared a lot of wisdom already from our learnings from creating a template shop on this. But if you have this in your heart, if you're interested in creating a template shop, my biz bestie Sandra has an amazing offer to tell you about.
This is true. So actually, I created Sold Out, which is all about how you actually create and set up a template shop. Funny story, one of my copycats actually came in and used a bunch of my things. I came on her podcast. We talked about her joining my course. She didn't join my course, resold some of my work as her own, but she forgot to actually share a link that was not editable. So technically, I had my VA buy it. I could have gone and deleted her entire product and just put "don't steal shit" in place, right? That's the kind of mistake you don't want to make. Yes. And that's exactly why, like, buying a course that will take you by the hand, step by step through all of it is helpful. It's not necessarily about you not being able to figure it out on your own. Like, I know you're highly capable from what we've told you. You can go and make a product. This is really about how can you do this the smartest, easiest, fastest way. And honestly, I had a bunch of stuff came up. I didn't come prepared to pitch. So I just went into Thrivecart Learn before, like 5 minutes for the call, went through the course. I was like, oh, this is so great. And I still use this. Like, I use this now creating the next template products I'm making. So inside it, what we do is we go through the strategy, right? What makes a good template? What's a great idea for you? How do you pick what you should actually make? Then we talk about like the tech choices. What if, maybe you're not on Thrivecart, where we both love it, but there's other options. How do you pick the best one for you? We go into how do you create templates? How do you price them? We talk about intellectual property and copyright and protecting what's yours. We talk about how do you convert things. We talk about cart setup. And actually, we have templates from Dama for it, which is awesome. One of the best. She made a bonus. So we have a checkout and a sales page template for you. Not available in the shop, just FYI.
Nope. Literally cannot get it anywhere else except as a student of Sold Out.
It's just in here, and after you've created a product, you've got it set up. I'm going to share with you, how do you actually launch this, right? How do you get sales in the door for this template? We talk about traffic and growth. Like, what can we do now that it all exists, right? And I shared that my regret was not doing enough of this, like not maximize. And Dama is so amazing and like maximizing things she's created. And I'm like, I've created it, I've sold it, I want to move on to the next creation. So that is really about how do we get more sales on an evergreen basis. There's a couple of case study bonuses for you. It's really, the videos are under 5 minutes. There's a quick exercise with everything so that we're moving you closer and closer to the launch. So this is really about creating the thing, setting up the thing, selling the thing, delivering the thing, and then making lots of money off the thing. And because of the question about memberships and monthly recurring and all access passes, I've actually done a paid workshop on how to create and sell an all access pass. Dama, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you were there live.
Yep, I bought it. I joined it.
Yeah, I was like, you were there. And there's an hour-long Q&A session, And this is really about, now that you've created and sold all these products, if you wanted to do the type of thing where you sell it all as a bundle, what do you include? How do you price it? How do you make sure it's the most profitable it can be? I'm going to give you that as a bonus if you join Sold Out by Monday. Like the sale
Awesome.
ends on Monday. So I'm going to throw that in. It's normally $197, but I'm going to throw that in for you all. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to see. My internet connection is being a very unstable, unhinged bitch right now. So I don't know if I can screen share the back end.
Probably
But
not.
if you
We might have to do another. We need to do another live or share a BTS. But yeah, Sandra's had people go through this program. So as she mentioned, I contributed a checkout template and a Thrivecart sales page template. So if you have a Thrivecart license and you don't want to deal with Shopify, we didn't either. We don't blame you. We just use Thrivecart for both of ours. She's actually contributed lots of different copy templates for it, promotionals, all kinds of stuff in there. And I contributed a full sales page. So you could take your product, create the mock-up with the template and the mock-up templates provided, and start selling it literally like in a week. She's had people go through and create shops for Notion dashboards, Dubsado templates, Airtable, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it is. So Laura is asking, is this a monthly membership? It is not. It's a one-time purchase of a course. Yeah, it's a one-time purchase of a course. I also want to say, oh, go ahead, Sandra.
It's a self-study course. I will say, Laura, I saw your question about you sell courses and group programs. If you don't want to launch a template shop, don't buy this program. This is about creating and selling templates. So unless you're like, I want a sort of lower ticket entry into my world, I want to build out a template shop as an asset to like lead to course sales and group program sales down the line, like both Dama and I have done, then it's definitely for you. If you're not interested in starting a template shop, please do not spend your money on this.
Yeah. And one thing I will say is that this program is normally $750. It's not open year round. Sandra has generously agreed to mark it down 50%. So it is under $400, includes this amazing bonus of a training that arguably, hey, I bought this from Sandra, her all access pass training. I'm also going to be including a bonus if you purchase via my affiliate link, which is shared on the live. I have a training. I have an Airtable template. So meta. We love our templates. I have an Airtable training, a template called the Airtable Support Ticket Hub. And essentially with template shops, with volume does come lots of questions. The link is broken, or I don't know how to do this, or can I do that? And it can get a little overwhelming. With success comes a lot of customer service. And my best solution for you is to just create an organized method for handling that customer service. And ideally, like I've done, handing it off to my VA. And that's my one-click import system that you pop in, and it, I just set one up for somebody yesterday. It took 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, you could get it set up and rocking, and your whole customer service system is now automated, streamlined, high touch, high quality. And I mean, that normally sells for $147. I'm also including that free as a bonus if you join Sold Out by Monday. So we know there's going to be questions about the course, what's included. Go check out the sales page. Find it at damaju.com/SO for Sold Out. And when you purchase, not only will you get Sandra's bonus, you'll also get mine, and you'll also be getting it for 50% off. It's not available year round. I'm sure if in a month you DM Sandra and said, can I buy this? She'll say, sure. Here it is, it's $750, and the bonuses that we talked about on the live no longer apply. So if creating a template shop, or finally working with that idea of, hey, is a template shop a valid way to sell more of my courses, group programs, and one-on-one coaching? We're here to literally tell you, yes, it is, because that's what we did. And that's what really helped us to make more money from every, sale, from every template sale, get more leads by participating in, collaborative giveaways and events. We use our templates for that. They're always sort of a nice resource that I can pull out I can pull this out of my hat. Everybody loves templates. I haven't said this yet, and I will just say, I'll let the cat out of the bag. The real reason I created a template shop was I noticed when I bought summits and bundles and all access passes, the first thing I went to download, the thing that I could not ever stop myself from buying, was templates. Templates are catnip. People want to not start from scratch. I don't want to design from scratch. I don't want to start with a blank Google Doc. And there's just some things that AI cannot do for you. AI can maybe help you write your sales email, but can AI go in and schedule your email and add a cute graphic for you? No. Can AI design a header graphic for you? It'll probably be ratchet, but maybe not. So templates is still really the better solution for getting a high quality result without having to start from scratch. So I knew that if I created a template shop, templates were catnip for me, they're catnip for everybody. Everybody wants a leg up on getting the thing done that they know is going to get them to the desired result. So yeah, you can absolutely use a template shop in concert with courses, group programs, one-on-one. And a lot of people came to me because they got a template from me. They never even heard of me, and they got a template, and now are working with me in my high touch program, one-on-one program. Same with Sandra. A lot of our list was grown on the backs of our template shops. So even though she doesn't even have a template shop anymore, she's loading her next iteration of it, and it still is the audience that she cultivated, built, and is selling to. So such a powerful impact for us. We've been kind of gatekeeping a lot of our template knowledge. It's all living in SO and sold out, but we wanted to do this live, share a little bit about behind the scenes. I've never really gone on public and said, some of the ways that I've struggled with my template shop, but still, this brand still makes sales. I still had full price sales, 5 in the last week. Love that for me. So anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up, Sandra? I'm just going to quickly check the chat and see if there were any questions that I missed.
No, I'm always happy to answer more questions. The easiest way to get questions to me is send me a DM on Instagram. So that's at Sandra VDLEE. Like you heard, if I don't think it's for you, I will tell you it's not for you. And if I think it's awesome, I will say, please join this and build a template shop, because I love buying templates.
Yeah,
please make more templates so we can buy them.
I'm a big fan. Yeah, and one question that I saw.
I like fast results.
Yeah, yeah. One question that I saw in the chat I just didn't get a chance to answer yet is Jackie was just saying, thank you so much for sharing this experience. Yeah, so glad it's been helpful. Nicole asked, I'm going to collab with 2 partners to create a template membership, and we may have missed what you shared about the membership model versus template shop. We definitely had some not wishy-washy, not gray thoughts. We were very black and white on our thoughts. So catch the replay if you missed it, Nicole. And Laura was asking, when's the anniversary sale? I'm bootstrapping. That'll be happening starting May 29th. Sold out, will only be available for sale. So if you want to create a template shop, it is only available through Monday. What is the date? The 19th?
The 19th?
19th. Oh, I'm terrible with dates.
Can I do?
When's the card close, Sandra? Let us know so folks have an idea if they want to make this. There is a payment plan available, and the 50% discount plus the 2 bonuses does go away Monday night, which is Monday, May
19th
at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. So that's 3 a.m. Eastern. Okay, cool. If you are catching the replay, please do me a favor. I'm kind of new, just getting started with this YouTube thing. Give me a follow, give me a subscribe, and drop a comment that you're watching the replay. If you have questions about the program, we'll be answering them. As Sandra said, you can DM her. You can also drop a comment here on YouTube. I always prioritize answering questions here on YouTube in the comments. And I'm just so glad that you guys came and joined us, and hopefully you got a lot out of this. I learned some stuff from Sandra that we had never even discussed in our millions of hours of biz conversations. All right, so thanks so much for joining us. I'm glad to have you with us, and we're going to end it here. Bye. Hope to see you inside. Oh, I don't actually know how to end it. Whoops, my bad.
Story of my life.
Oh, this is how
Welcome to the show.
I'm just going to take a second while I figure out how to end it. And just share Jackie's comments. Okay, cool. I found how to end it. Bye, y'all, for real this time.